Hello everyone, welcome back to 11th lecture of microcontroller course. So, in the last lecture we discussed about assembly language program, how to write assembly language program by using instruction set. So, there we already discussed about there is a three types of program to configure any processor, even microcontroller also. That is machine level language programming and assembly level programming and high level programming. So machine level languages, because your computer can understand or any processor can understand only the binary information. So if you program that processor by using binary level, so that is called a machine level language. So this is a core language for your microprocessor or microcontroller. So the processor can understand only this type of instruction, but it is very difficult and very complex to program the microprocessor or any processors. Therefore, advanced version, that is improved version of machine level language, the some assembly language was developed, assembly level languages. That means all the binary bit of informations will be represented with some mnemonics and performing some operation. So that type of language is called assembly language. So here the short forms of the commands or codes are used to represent the sum of the binary patterns. That is called assembly language, or also called as instruction set. We are writing the sum mnemonics by using that instruction set. We are controlling the or programming the 8051 or any processor called assembly language programming. Another way, that is high level language. So few languages like Linux and Windows and some C programming, basic C programming is also an high level language. So by using some statements we can able to control the program, or we can program the processor. So therefore the C programming will comes under high level language. It will compare to Linux and all, it's a middle level, but it will also considered as a high level languages, that is high level language. So assembly language, because at last all the levels of the languages will convert it into a machine level language, and then your processor will handle the operations, because your processor can understand only machine level languages. So even if you are writing the program in assembly level languages, you requires an assembler which converts that assembly level languages to machine codes or X files. In high level languages also we require some compilers. C is nothing but a compiler language. C language is nothing but compiler language which converts the high level languages into a machine level language. Therefore these requires the converters, but machine level languages no need of any converter, because program is itself in binary pattern. So we are using 8051 program, C program to configure the 8051. Why we are selecting C language? Because this is a high level language, it is easy to program, it is not so complex than assembly and machine level languages. In assembly language you need to learn all the instructions of 8051, and then after only you need to write the program. But in case of this C language, if you will write this program, this is very easy to understand any users. A little bit effort is required to write the program, therefore it is user friendly. Some statements are common for all the microcontroller families, therefore it is very easier, and one platform is enough to write the program for all the modules of microcontroller, and it is less complex to the program. As I told, different library functions, everything is exists there. There is no need to mention all library and all the instructions inside the program, therefore it's very easy to program and less complex. And here is, before go for the data types, we need to learn some basics about the C program. So this is a sequence of the C program, that is three types of sequences you can see in C programming, that is a straight line sequencing, branching sequencing and loop sequences. So straight line sequences means here the program will start with a different set of headers and some files, So after that, the one statement 1 will execute. After that, it will go to statement 3, statement 2, and that is statement 2, 3 up to statement n can be executed one after another. That's why we call it as a straight line sequencing. So after that, it will be get ended. So but in case of branching statement, here the statements will get split up based on the decision. That means if the conditional statement, so if the decision will defines whether it needs to execute statement 2 or statement 1. So here the decision statement represented with the square, and if the condition will be gets true, then it will execute statement 1, or else if it is false, it will execute the statement 2. At the end, either it will execute statement 1 or statement 2, but not both the statement will execute at the same time. But in case of loop sequence, it will goes to a decision. That means different statements were there, so it will execute one after another one. That means it will check the statement, switch cases, it will check the status. Decision 1 is true, then only the statement will execute. If it is false, it will goes to the next statement. Likewise, it will checks the, that means unless it will become false, it was continuously executing the statement 1. So this is a procedure for loop sequencing. And different types of statement, that is if else statement and switching statement and loop statements are exist in 8051. That is common statement we are going to discuss. We are not going to discuss in depth for C programming. So if statement, so if instruction, the syntax if, which contains expression of the statement. Else statement, that is if this condition is executed, then it will go to this one, or if it is false, that means just like this structure. If statement 1 is, that is a decision is true, it will go to statement 1, otherwise it will execute this statement. The same procedure written in C code. The syntax for switch case, the multiple statements will be exist like this. So switch will be the condition, so different cases will come. So case will end with a break. In between that case 1, the statement 1 will execute. So case 2 up to case n, break statement will terminate the case statements. So after that, the program will get terminated. In between two braces we need to mention it. So loop statement, that is for loop and while loop are there. While loop, different classes are there, while one and some while condition. So in small bracket after while, you need to mention the condition or a statement. For also same, you need to mention the statement for. So next we'll discuss the data types in 8051. So that is as like C here also in 8051C, some data types are exist, and that is data types are unsigned character, signed character, unsigned integer, signed integer, and single bit, and bit for RAM, and special function register. Unsigned character for 8 bit of data, or 1 byte. 0 to 255 values you can able to represent or map. Signed character 8 bit, this is complemented, you can represent minus 128 to plus 127 values. In 3 unsigned integer 16 bit data you can able to use, that is 0 to 65,535 values you can able to map. Signed is itself complement of that one, 16 bit minus 32 765 to 32 plus 32 767 values you can able to fetch. And single bit itself 1 bit of data, it is used for special function register bit addressable. And another one, that is RAM bit addressable 1 bit, it can be used to mention or operate the RAM bits. And special function registers, it is a 8 bit register, that is nearly 21 special function registers are there. It is a 8 bit, it is RAM addressable, it is byte addressable. You can able to address the 8 bit of information. So here is unsigned character. Unsigned character, because unsigned character is a 8-bit data type and it ranges from 0 to 255. So where can we use this unsigned character in 8051? So these unsigned character can be used to set the counters and to strings of ASCII characters, and to toggle the ports we are using unsigned character, because this is 8-bit data. 8051 is 8-bit microcontroller, therefore unsigned character and signed character are very important in 8051. So signed character is complements, it will represents the complement, that is 2's complement operations representations can be done. Its ranges from -128 to +127, that is 0 to ff values you can able to represent. To represent some temperature coefficients we are using signed character. Apart from that, unsigned character we are using majorly using in 8051 microcontroller programming. And signed and unsigned integers, that is integers, a 16-bit data, but 8051 is 8-bit microprocessor. Unnecessarily representing the program with the integer which makes the program size more, therefore we can try to avoid this integer representation in 8051 embedded C programming. So range of the program, unsigned is 0 to 65,535 values you can able to represent. Signed, that is complement, -232 to 32,768 to 32,767 values you can able to represent. Unless until 16-bit operation is required in 8051, no need to represent this integer. And here is a simple structure of 8051 simple program which can send a 0 to ff value to the port 1. So this is a header file. As like C, we need to mention hash include register 51h will go to the controller library functions, and void main of void, that means the gateway of program. Unsigned character Z, here I am using unsigned character Z as a Z integer. Here is a for loop which will sends the information 00 to ff value to the port 1, that is Z value is assigned to the port 1. So this value is started from 00. After that it will get incremented by 1, and then up to 0 ff value it is going to represent, and after that it will get terminated on the main program.